Okay guys, so I was going to do 2 videos in my video series with Parnell Johnson, who's so knowledgeable, and after we filmed the 2 videos, we're having a conversation, and I was like, I've got to get this on camera because, you know, the first 2 conversations really kind of hit the male mind, but this conversation I think is really good for women to understand, or even their counterparts to understand what's going on with, let's say, Parnell has a story on a woman who was trying to figure out what was going on with her abs. So Parnell, and before we actually go into that story, I want you guys to, I want to show his book. It's right here. He's produced this amazing book. This is Parnell Johnson, you guys. And he's awesome. He's my guru, and I want him to become your guru, the exercise guru. But we were talking about posture. So before we go into that, I just want you to see his book. It's amazing. He's produced it himself. And you can find this book by contacting him at...
Parnell, that's P as in Paul, O-N-N as in Nelson, 2 N's, E-L-L-J @gmail.com. So that's ParnellJ @gmail.com.
Awesome. Okay, and you guys, I'm going to put that in the show notes. So you just look below if you want to contact Parnell. This is going to be a shorter video, so go and try to find the other 2 videos to see how brilliant and genius this individual is. So we're going to go into the story here. So Parnell, can you explain to me a story that happened to you while you were at a gym when a woman was asking her trainer a question?
Okay, well, I was in another gym that I don't usually use, but I overheard a woman asking her instructor why she can't get rid of the pouch at the bottom of her abdominal.
So below the belly button.
Well, right about that proximity.
Okay.
And the thing was, chances are she has a child or children already. And because she's thinking it's an ab problem, I would like to say at this time that that's not an ab. Anytime that most time that a woman goes into labor, and after she has a child, et cetera, and it doesn't matter the time frame, she still experiences that pouch at the lower bottom of her abs.
Right. You women, you know this.
And it's not an ab issue, it's a back issue. It's when you're doing abs, when a woman goes into labor, what happens is she experiences what's called distalis. So distalis, if you notice, this is the 6-pack. This disconnects from her body. This totally disconnects from her body so her belly could distend. All right? This is the layer under the rectus abdominis called the transverse abdominis, which goes in another direction. This is the muscle you use when they're telling you push, etc., etc. This is your breathing, which, by the way, the other muscles or the 6-pack does absolutely nothing except hang off your 12th rib. It's by design, it's for design. This is the functional muscle in your abs.
So this is the ab. This is the front part of her body. So for those who get confused by the graph.
Okay. So now, this underneath, if you notice, is the ossinaminary or the hip bone.
The ossa what?
Ossinaminary. It's a Latin term for hip bone. But what happens when she goes, as she's experiencing labor, probably the 2nd and 3rd trimester, what happens? She experiences distalis. So because her
stretching
abdomen,
of the muscle.
Because her abdomen distends, what's going to happen for balance, nature, is her glutes or her pelvis is going to tilt. So her glute come out so she can keep her balance.
Right.
When that happens, you have a muscle called the iliac muscle.
So this is the tilt, right?
Yes.
The belly's out.
Lordosis.
Lordosis.
Right.
Exactly.
And you have a muscle. If you give me a second.
Sure.
It's part of the iliac psoas. It's called the iliac muscle. I think it's right here.
That's why he's looking for that. Okay, here we go.
So you see that's the iliac psoas?
Right.
But that's because that's the psoas and the iliac muscles working in conjunction. So this is, see the iliac muscle coming off the ossonamine going into, that's the iliac muscle. That muscle, because of distalis and anterior pelvic tilt,
The tilt.
gets stretched.
That hardcore tilt where you see women's bellies pushed out and their butt is out the opposite direction.
And it's like that for balance.
Right.
But that's the whole hip bone doing that. So to take that pouch out of the lower part of your abdomen after labor, you have to tighten the iliac muscle up.
And how do you tighten that iliac muscle?
Hyperextensions.
Hyperextensions.
Hyperextensions. You take that right out. Work like a charm.
Like a charm.
Yeah.
You sure?
Positive. And take it right out.
Even though they've torn their abdominal wall.
Well, it grew back. That's just tissue. This
You hear that, women?
Yeah, it'll grow back. That's the process of
That
distalis.
little pooch you have once you're post pregnancy.
It's not an ab. Yeah, it's not an ab situation because you can do abs all day and you notice you can't get rid of that bottom. That's because your pelvic is still tilted.
You got to straighten out that pelvic area. A lot of you still are tilting that pelvic girdle.
So you tighten up your iliac muscle and you do that by doing hyperextensions. Works like a charm.
So you guys, these are the kinds of situations and kind of going into how every single thing that you do, sitting, standing, walking, all plays a role in your body responding to whatever force or any type of load you put on your body. Right. Just something as simple as having your pelvic tilt in the wrong direction. She couldn't build her abs.
Right, and can I say something else
Absolutely.
to go with that, and real brief, because I know this is, also you're going to experience upper body situations after labor. One of them is kyphosis, because your breasts get heavy.
Yes.
So
surrounding the shoulders.
And what happens?
Pronated shoulders.
Right. And what happens with that is the rhomboids are stretched because it's going to pull your scapula apart because the weight of your breasts are going to pull your scapula or shoulder blades apart. So these will be stretched, and that's called kyphosis. So after, when you want to, so if you want to address that situation, anytime you pull weight to you, with your hands inside your shoulders and your arms close to your side,
backwards,
you will tighten your rhomboids. Tighten your rhomboids, and it pulls your shoulder blades closer together.
Will this straighten out your pelvic girdle as well?
Well, the thing for your pelvic girdle is hyperextension. So
that's right, the hyperextension.
Yeah, that's hyperextension. But for your top body, between that and pullovers, what's called pullovers, work the pectoralis minor and the serratus anterior. So what you're going to do by working your rhomboids and doing pullovers is you're going to raise your breasts up and out.
You hear that, women?
So to give you 20 years back.
Well, and men too. I mean, men can also learn from these exercises. You also develop kyphosis and pronation of the shoulders and anterior pelvic tilt. You also, men, you tend to do that as well, but not from
because
birth.
men do get, they do get upper body, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so that big beer belly thing that pops out.
And then from sitting around, they could also experience lordosis from sitting around too much and aggravating the lumbar section of their spine. So it doesn't matter, but that's a way that you could address that.
You see what I'm saying? Wealth and bank of knowledge. So if you guys want to learn more, please go to his email and ask about his new book, which is fantastic. His name is Parnell Johnson. I will have that in the show notes below. And he's my new guru, and I want him to be yours. So you just listen to him talk. It's just like a symphony. If you guys want to learn more about ketosis and how to integrate the ketogenic diet with proper exercise, right? Proper muscle.
Nobody gets that.
Musculoskeletal system. Then you can also go to my website, stephanieperson.com. You can also go to my Periscope, which is Steph the Business with BIZNESS. Go to Stephanie Ketogenic on my Instagram. And I'm about to peace out, guys, and enjoy the rest of this afternoon and learn a lot from Parnell. Peace.